The sunlight spilled to the large bay window of the spa room like a silent blessing. Dust motes danced lazily in the beams, and a soft instrumental tune hummed from hidden speakers. Plush towels, white as fresh snow, were stacked beside an aroma diffuser that sent out wisps of lavender. The room was still, calm, almost sacred. Then in waddled Waffles, a tiny corgi, round like a loaf of bread, his legs hilariously short, ears like radars, and a heart far too big for his body. He walked in with all the swagger of a dog who thought he was at the park for belly rubs and biscuits. His human held his leash gently, whispering, "Today's special, buddy, you're going to love this." He didn't understand the words, but the tone, that got him. His little tail, more of a fuzz wiggle than actual tail, started to vibrate. He sniffed the air, cocked his head, and gave a happy little bark. Cameras were already set up around the room, but he was too distracted to care. The spa attendant, a gentle soul with magic hands, knelt down. "Well, hello, Mr. Waffles." She had a voice like honey and patience carved into her bones. Waffles blinked at her, unsure. She offered her hand. He sniffed, then licked. His approval was instant. Then the door closed behind him, and the surprise began. First, a tiny tub was wheeled out, shiny white porcelain just his size, filled with warm, perfectly tempered water that steamed faintly in the cool air. Scented oils made gentle ripples as they were poured in, releasing calming smells of chamomile and vanilla. Waffles watched it fill, ears twitching. Then came the towel wrap, soft and warming like a hug after a storm. He was gently lifted by practiced hands, his legs dangling like overcooked noodles. As his belly touched the water, his entire body tensed. This was unfamiliar territory. Water wasn't his thing. But this water didn't feel like the hose in the backyard. It wasn't a rainy sidewalk or a surprise puddle. This was nice, warm, like a memory he didn't know he had. Slowly, cautiously, his legs stopped kicking. His breathing slowed. And then the most miraculous thing happened. Waffles exhaled. A soft puff of air left his mouth, followed by a dreamy blink. The cameras caught it all. The exact moment he let go of control and gave himself up to whatever this beautiful sorcery was. His paws floated. His body slumped into the therapist's arm like a baby. The world melted around him. Then came the shampoo. It was oat milk and honey scented, specially made for sensitive skin. Foam built up into tiny clouds over his head, his back, his stubby legs. The lathering was so gentle, so methodical, that Waffles began to snore, soft, rhythmic snores like the kind that comes from deep, honest rest. One of the spa attendants gasped quietly. "He's sleeping in the bath." It was more than sleep. It was surrender. Waffles became jelly, a warm, fluffy dumpling of happiness. The foam was rinsed, but he didn't flinch. His ears flopped into the water and stayed there. When a little rubber duck floated past his face, he didn't even blink. Next came the massage. The spa therapist took out 2 small mitts lined with soothing silicone bumps. She began at his shoulders, working in slow circles, her touch more spiritual than physical. His back legs stretched out with every motion. His eyelids twitched, but didn't open. His breathing matched the music. The camera zoomed in. Millions would later say that moment changed their life. By the time his paws were wiped clean, his ears gently dried, his fluffy rear brushed and detangled, Waffles was practically unconscious from joy. They placed 2 cucumber slices on his head. Not his eyes, just perched on his ears like a crown. He didn't care. He was somewhere between here and heaven. Finally, he was lifted from the tub, wrapped in a miniature robe with Waffles embroidered on the back. He looked like royalty. No, not royalty. Something more sacred, like a monk who had reached enlightenment via warm water and essential oils. The last scene of the video showed Waffles lying on a padded table, his body fully swaddled like a burrito, eyes half closed, mouth slightly open, drool just starting to form at the corner. The therapist whispered, "Sweet dreams, Waffles." And he responded with the tiniest, most content sigh imaginable. When the video went live, no one expected what would happen next. Within hours, comments flooded in by the thousands. I didn't know a dog could heal my soul. This should be required viewing before any stressful day. This Corgi just taught me what self-care really means. Celebrities reposted it. Therapists use it in sessions. Schools played it during mindfulness classes. One hospital in Japan looped the video in their recovery ward. Waffles had done what no one else could. In a world full of chaos, he became a soft, wiggly beacon of peace. No drama, no tricks, just a little dog melting into joy, reminding us all that sometimes the deepest healing comes from stillness and bubbles. He didn't know he'd gone viral. He didn't know he'd become a symbol of peace. All he knew was that he'd had the best nap of his life, and he dreamed of being back in that tub, floating on a cloud, while someone whispered, "You're a good boy."